Miss New
All right.
Beauty. Get it together. Back
Hey guys, same shit, but different show tonight. Here's a sneak peek.
better equipment and better people.
Tune in to find out.
Like the link.
Bam. All right. That should be good.
Alrighty. Well, hello everyone. Welcome. I'm Jason,
And I'm Will.
and we are
The Shit Show.
So we had a pretty good episode with music and mental health. So we're gonna lean into that a little bit. Tonight we obviously have a special guest. This is Chad.
What's going on, guys?
He's a longtime friend of mine, and he is in a fantastic band. So who better to talk about music and mental health than somebody who uses mental health music for mental health? So go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself, please.
All right, so my name's Chad. I'm the lead vocalist for a band called Araya Falls. Got some merch here I brought for the guys to keep. Yeah, I have been playing music for a really long time, and something I enjoy to do. This new band, we've kind of been growing, got some really cool new opportunities that have been coming up. Some I can talk to you guys about more like off camera, other stuff I can tell you guys what's going on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, as we get into stuff, we can talk a little more about it, but there's a lot of really cool stuff that has been taking place, and I love doing what I'm doing and getting to be able to do cool things like this with you guys.
Yeah,
You know?
that's awesome, man. So before we get into like the deeper, emotional mental health aspect of everything, can you what is there that you can share with us that you have coming up or that you got going on so people can check you guys out and see if they can come out to a show or anything like that?
So we just dropped a album just a few months ago. The album's called Low Lifes, and we have a self-titled track off of there, Low Lifes. We have a music video for it. It's on YouTube, all of our streaming, and I can give that to you guys. You guys can share it. But check out the Low Lifes video. It's a fun one. Song's ridiculous. I write really serious songs a lot of times, and this one just like started coming, and it's just ridiculous. It's about a bunch of guys just being low lives and just having fun. Kind of fits with the theme of the podcast here.
Yeah, absolutely.
We were doing a photo shoot, and we found like this cool like graffiti wall, and we just saw like low lives tagged huge like up on top of the wall, and all of us were like, dude, that's the album right there.
Yeah.
That's yeah.
Low Lives. So yeah, check out Low Lives on all streaming platforms, whatever you like to listen to your music on. We're on there. YouTube, you can watch some videos. There's some live shows of us on there. And yeah, so one thing I can bring up, I don't want to talk too much in detail, but we just got approached by a record label and actually just had a call earlier this week with them. We don't know if it's where we're at right now, if that's the direction we necessarily want to go at this moment in time, but it's still just garnering record label interest is
Like that's cool.
pretty awesome.
Like, that's a great
that's
accomplishment,
awesome. But that's
honestly.
awesome that you're able to see that and understand that, because most people, I mean, as soon as they get the first offer, they're gonna jump on it. They're like, what? Excuse me, let's go.
It's like, where do I sign?
Yeah.
That really does happen to a lot of people. I've known several people that have gotten into bad deals like that, and I'm lucky enough to know friends that are in the industry now. So it's nice having like that, be able to come and talk to you. You can reach out to them and be like, hey, this is what's going on. What's your advice? What would you say? And so having mentors like that have already done it, it just makes things easier, So there's that, and then we just got reached out to by a recording studio, Steel City Studios out of Sheffield, England. They did
Nice.
Ludens by Bring Me the Horizon.
Nice.
Oh, damn.
So they found us online and reached out to us. So they really liked our music. That we just have like a fun, cool vibe. And so they wanted to start working with us. So we just pretty much finalized that. So we're gonna be starting in the next couple weeks here, working on one of our new songs. I think the song we're doing is called Apparitions. I lost my dad like a little while ago. Sorry to bring that down, but
Oh, my condolences, man.
Hey,
I
that's
lost
the
my
whole
dad
point.
about a year and a half ago, and it's taken me some time. I wanted to write something, and just once the music was right that brought that out of me, this song came, and it's a banger. It's good. It's one of the heavier ones we have.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's super sick. Dude, does that mean
awesome.
that at some point in time they're gonna try and maybe bring you guys over there? And
So we've talked all aspects. Right now, obviously, there's quite a huge distance gap between us, but we're going to work on doing some online production and just sharing ideas back and forth with the eventual goal to be going over there and actually like doing live recordings with them. So
that's awesome.
That would be awesome.
Which is, it's actually funny because the only time I've ever been out of the country, well, besides Canada, it didn't count. The only time I've ever been outside of the country was to go to the UK, and I went with one of your bandmates, one of our mutual friends, Kiffin.
Yep.
So that would be perfect because then you get to hang out and see you get to have a personal tour guide who knows the people, who knows the land,
Yeah.
and be able to get your music out there. That's awesome.
Yeah, and we've met some bands out there that we're kind of friends with now too, so it'd be cool to get out there and play shows. Keep that in mind. We'll be playing shows in England, hopefully. So come and see us if you're listening from over there.
That's awesome. I would say make a goal of Edinburgh Castle or Hogmanay, because that's what Hogmanay is what we went for, and it's New Year's party. It's Europe's biggest New Year's event.
And
And they have some super cool bands there. And if you got, for me, that would be. I would personally try to come on that trip just to watch you guys play Hogmanay.
I mean, I remember you saying how awesome you said it was, so that'd be really cool.
Dude, it was.
Yeah.
I mean, that whole trip was life changing. Scotland is. I can't even describe it. I mean, I can't.
Do you remember it?
Every bit of. Well, okay, not every bit. Yeah.
Sounds like my New
Yeah.
Orleans
Didn't
trip, man.
somebody almost get thrown off an airplane, if I remember correctly?
Okay, so that, sir. Yeah, I did. Okay, so we had some drinks before the flight. And originally it was a 12-hour flight. I was taking Klonopin for my natural anxieties. So I was like, a couple drinks won't harm. And we went a little harder than I expected. And the combination, I guess, made me believe that I could vape on a plane. So
Get these motherfucking vapes
this
off this
motherfucking
motherfucking plane.
yeah,
Oh
so
my
that was fun going through TSA, but I made it in the country. I didn't get kicked. I wasn't on a terror watch list. They did threaten it, but I didn't go. So
It's always a cool story to tell.
I not really because I sound like a douche and I was a douche. I mean, at least I realized, you know what I mean? Like, you like, that was so funny. No, I could have ruined other people. What if I caused that plane to turn around? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that would suck.
yeah.
That
So,
would suck.
Would have fucked up a lot of people's
Hey,
days, bro. Like,
dude, yeah, because it was like a 12-and-a-half-hour flight. So if we would have gotten more than an hour in, even 2 hours to flip around, man. I watch those videos personally. I like to watch the
Damn.
videos where people get kicked off planes, but I'm rooting for everybody else, not those people. So I'm
Yeah.
not trying to be the person that I personally like to watch get beat up.
Yeah, that's a fair
oh,
point.
Jesus.
That's awesome though, because I've been friends with him for a very long time. So
Oh, yeah.
him and some of our other friends, I've seen them all in different like bands, and you really get to see how people think and express themselves differently in those different ways, because a fight at daybreak is completely different from this.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And I like that. You know what I mean? Like, because it's a lot similar people, similar vibes, different expression
I feel like different people bring out different things in you. So as a musician, you could be in one band playing a certain style of music, and that's what's flowing naturally, and that's what the creative juices are doing based on the other personalities and how you get along in a band. So one person's interests or playing style can completely change the sound of a band, because as they feed in, it brings out certain sides of other people that you normally wouldn't see around different people. Actually, like, relationships are the same way. If you get into a relationship with a girl that maybe not be the right one, now you're like always fighting. People think you're an asshole or whatever, but it's just personalities don't mesh, and it's the same thing when you got 5 guys in a room trying to work together.
For sure.
That's
That's it.
definitely a battle.
I love that example because that's so good with relationships, because it is. I mean, whenever you have a new partner or even a long time, partner, the way you have to play and interpret each other on a regular basis, that's for sure it's definitely the same thing with bands. The quality of music, much staying together, of course, but the quality of music and the way you express things to your audience. I feel like, when you have that chemistry, it makes the music and the essence just so much more palpable.
Yeah, it's definitely a relationship in itself. You have to treat it. It's a business, but it's a family, and you have to treat it as such. You have to care for it as if it is a relationship, and treat it the same way that you would any other relationship that you have. It's a delicate thing, but it's also a business. You wouldn't go to work and treat it the same way necessarily as you would.
No, you don't clock in or clock out.
Exactly. Yeah. It lives with you.
Your time becomes very fluid at that point.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's difficult sometimes to manage. I still work a full-time job, and I have a wife, and I have a stepson. He's a little older, so it's not like having like a little kid around. He's 19 years old, but I have all that on my plate, and then I still have to find time to write songs and record and fly here, fly there to do this.
Their band is in Texas, and we're obviously here in Vegas.
Whoa.
So they're in San Antonio, and then our bass player's actually in Fayetteville. So
What?
we're across 3 different states. Yeah.
That is wild.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, you guys still make it work,
We
I know.
obviously.
Yeah.
I mean, you're even getting approached by label. Like,
Yeah, you know what? In a way, I feel like it has helped us, because it's forced us to mature our sound, versus a lot of bands get 5 songs and like, we have enough to play a show, because when you're starting a band, you usually get 25-minute sets or something like that. So we have enough to play a show. Then they start doing that, and now they're trying to get their live show good. Now they're not writing anymore. We have 11 songs released right now, I believe, that are out on streaming platforms, and then we still have more that we're working on right now. And being farther away, I think it's actually an advantage in a way, because it keeps us writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
So this way, when you guys do meet up, you can collaborate with each other
Yeah.
on what you've been working on.
Yeah, and we get to do.
Makes the process a little smoother.
Yeah, when we get together, it's always for something bigger that we're doing, music videos, shows, whatever it is. So it's like, those things are us enjoying the fruits of our labors. And those are the things we get to see each other and do together. So it makes it fun when we're around each other, and because we know we're doing something cool that maybe we haven't done before, or that we do but we just enjoy doing.
Yeah.
I bet that helps that you guys are distant, so you're not. We're together
wearing
4
on
or
each
5,
other
6 days out of
emotionally.
every week on a regular basis, week after week after week, and I feel like that tends to be a lot of the reason why bands have issues. It's just because they're just too close all the time. Like they forget to step out and bring their individuality back into the group.
Yeah, that's definitely happened, because I've been there in the past where things like that do happen. And it's hard being creative with a bunch of people all at the same time. you're gonna
Well,
butt
if you're
heads here and there.
creative.
Like it's gonna happen. Like
Yeah.
I like this. Well, this person doesn't necessarily like that, and they want to do it this way. But I'm pretty set on doing it this way. So there, you do have those frustrations that happen just naturally, and it's a bunch of creative people being together, like I was saying, and being away kind of does because we have that breathing room.
Yeah.
So yeah, kind of the buffer zone, I guess. Yeah.
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 That's yeah.
Definitely helps with longevity, that's for sure.
Oh, for
Sure.
sure.
Families could have that. I'm just saying. I mean,
Well, I kind of do.
mean,
My
some
sister's
families
in LA. My
theoretically
mom's
do,
in
like-
Reno. My dad's in heaven.
but there's so many
That's a
people
lot
where
of
their
families,
mom
man.
lives on the
Like-
street and you'll be making dinner and out of nowhere your parents show up.
I could not live like that.
See that's too
Sounds like a
much.
sitcom, dude.
It is.
Like-
That's exactly
I feel
right.
like everybody loves Raymond.
That's
100%.
Have you guys watched that new Tim
Right.
Allen one yet? I just started watching that.
Which one?
It's called Shifting Gears. It's got that.
Oh,
What's her name? Kat something.
Kat Dennings.
Yes, Kat Dennings.
Yes.
I'll have to check that
She's
out.
one of my hall passes.
I could see it. I could see that. And the way, as soon as you knew her name that fast, I kind of figured something like
Yeah.
that.
No, she's
So-
awesome.
But,
Kat Dennings and
she's
Kate
hilarious.
Beckinsale are my hall
So
Really
passes.
hot. Yeah.
The
But
show's really funny.
those are really good hall passes. Like-
Thank you.
I try to make mine more realistic so they can actually happen.
That's smart. That's strategic. My hall pass is Becky from down the street. What? Well, hey, you said.
I don't get a hall pass,
Because
but that's because I'm single. So-
Yeah. you
I don't need one.
Yeah, you don't need
have hall
one.
passes 'cause you don't need one.
yeah, that means I can explore what I want.
There you go.
It's like the opportunity's there. All right.
Take it. Doesn't matter what she looks like. There's a dimmer on that light switch, right?
I could definitely see that being a motto for Will.
Nah, but that's not really like my motivation though.
No.
Like,
Me and Sarah will joke
it
sometimes.
helps, that's for sure. But
Me and Sarah will joke sometimes and say, well, did it have a pulse? Yeah, we'll do it. Well, if I hit the camera, sorry, audience. We're not used to having
Fancy little microphones,
yeah,
yeah.
fancy little microphones on our clothes, as you can tell.
funny, man. You make it sound like I could get laid.
Oof. I mean, that's not my business. You know? You're a good-looking dude. I assume. You know, somebody's desperate at some
Dude,
point.
I work full time and I go to school full time. Like, what time do I have for anything?
Yeah.
Like, I barely have time for my dogs, dude. I have 3 dogs. Like,
That's a lot.
I give my time
There's
to
a lot of
them.
dogs.
And
They love
are
me. Like,
some of the cutest animals on the planet.
I mean, you
Really
can still tell
sweet.
people. I got several bitches at home.
yeah, I got 2.
True. That's
I got 2
true.
bitches and they love on me all the time. Like,
Yeah, but one
they
of,
give me the cuddles and everything, bro. Like, it's cool.
yeah, but one of them's kind of hurt and can't run away.
It always comes to me though. Like, what do you mean, like, mother?
One of his puppies has a hurt leg.
Yeah, she has a bad hip, so she can't really like run and jump anymore.
They're schnoodles, right?
Multi-poo.
Multi-poo, that's it. I knew it was
She
from
older?
Congo, but they are
Nah, she's like
so
5.
cute.
Yeah. I'll share some vitamins with you that I started giving my dog, and she went from like really bad hip problems to running around like a puppy again.
I definitely need to do that too, because my rabbit.
They don't work
rabbits
on
have bad
humans.
hip issues, but-
Oh,
Yeah, rabbits get hip cancer, well, especially the females, because ovaries, etc. I mean, you get them fixed as quick as possible, but yeah, I need to do that for my rabbits. That's a major issue with them.
I wonder if getting them fixed too early has a problem because my aunt's like a dog trainer, and she said if you fix your dog before 2 years old, they're more likely to have like hip issues and other issues as they get older. So I
That
wonder if
makes
there's
sense to
anything
me.
like that with rabbits.
What I mean, like, think about getting fixed as a human before you finish puberty.
Yeah,
Like,
it would mess you up. Yeah.
Yeah. So that totally makes sense to me.
I mean, we don't have to get into that, but isn't that kind of what's been going on lately anyway?
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, and if anybody finds any the donations is fundraisers. Any fundraisers for the LA fires for animals, the sheer amount of rabbits that are coming into shelters with burnt feet and ears, and because they're doing everything they can to escape the fire, and it's
It's
devastating.
overwhelming the clinics out
Yeah,
there.
you know what? I didn't even really think about the animals so much, just seeing like all the devastation. My sister was actually evacuated the fire near West Hills.
Oh my god.
She's
that-
okay.
Yeah, luckily they got that one out really fast, and they caught the dude that they literally caught a dude with a fucking blowtorch.
I saw that.
What?
Which
Yeah.
David Spade is offering rewards for any of the people who catch an arsonist and they actually get arrested for it. You submit that information in, and David Spade will give you $5,000. He's offering rewards for any arsonists that are caught and prosecuted.
That's
So.
an interesting one.
I
That's
know,
one that
David
I wouldn't
Spade.
see. Like
Wild.
David Spade, really? I met him once.
Really?
Yeah, when I used to work for Andre Agassi, I was like his little gopher, like right out of high school. Like, here's the keys to my car, go get me gas, like stuff like that. Great guy, love him to death.
I love David.
But he used to do the charitable foundation events. I don't know if you guys remember, like you'd see him like Grand Slam for Children. It was called.
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
at, like,
Oh yeah.
MGM. So we used to do that, and like I'd actually help like work backstage and stuff. So I got to meet a bunch of really cool people. Got to saw Paris Hilton lock herself inside of Jerry Seinfeld's dressing room with some other guy while they were doing blow. And
Damn. See, I always wondered if Paris had kind of, straightened
Anyway.
herself
No.
out. But it obviously sounds like she's still
I think she might have now. I mean, this is
a long time ago.
back when she was still like on TV and stuff.
I mean,
Oh,
Paris
yeah.
Hilton.
Everybody
hot,
knows
but
she was a wreck.
Yeah. Talk about a shit show.
I think she is doing good now, if I'm not mistaken.
That's
Back when
good.
dial-up existed,
God,
minimally existed.
I remember having to get off the phone. I'm trying to Google something.
You wait
Well, it
30
was
minutes
search
for-
something. Google wasn't a thing then, but
You guys remember how pictures used to load? It would just be like a slow, like curtain dropping.
Yep. I'd always finish before the picture even got done.
so I don't know what our age demographic will be across the
Dude,
spread of our
right?
show, but we're old, I guess, because we've seen so much stuff that people have no idea what a cassette is.
No, yeah, my
Or a VHS.
my son didn't believe my wife and I when we were telling him that we're older than Google. He thought we were lying.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
It's like kids were born with technology already existing.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's like,
But we were
this
like,
is the new generation coming up
But we
that
were
are now, some
in
of them are hitting
transition.
adult age. It's so weird.
did you guys for sure
So
remember
weird.
when they said that we were going to use
Oh, the Rolodexes
Cursive.
and all. Oh, the
yeah,
cursive.
with,
Yeah.
like, you're going to use cursive all throughout college. You're going
And
to
now
do
they've
all your papers
friggin'
through.
eliminated it as a teaching.
Well, yeah, because they
Which
said
is
that,
ridiculous to me.
They said that
by
through,
the way.
up through halfway through middle school, and then middle school is like, yeah, you might not need to do that. By the way, we have a typing class you have to take now. And you have
Yeah,
to get those
world's
things and
moving
not
into
look.
technology now, so all that matters is typing. And you know what's weird? They're also not trained to type without looking.
When we were kids, they did. They used to. Did you guys have to do that? Where they
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
type
with
and
the
they put
box
the
over
card.
your
Yeah,
hand.
They cover
yes.
the keyboard. They would cover
Yes.
the keyboard with a little.
And you had to
little thing,
memorize
and
the
you could look.
keyboard,
Yeah.
period.
Yes.
I still do that to this day. It's so funny.
You
because,
cover your
like,
hands with cardboard when you type.
No.
Oh.
I was gonna say, tell me you're a serial
No,
killer.
like,
without
I
telling
just-
me you're a
I
serial
don't-
killer.
I don't look at the keyboard at all. Like, I just touch it and I know where my hands are on the keyboard.
But
Yeah.
that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be able to, because that's what
Mm-hmm.
the indentations are on J and F or whatever, so you can know. Oh, this is index. Here we go. But
Exactly.
yeah.
Yep.
Oh, have you seen how they teach math now?
I don't understand it at all. Yeah, it's weird.
I don't either.
Are they
How does-
still doing it?
Yes. How do you change 5 plus 5? 10 times 10? Why? How? Why do you change that?
I just,
It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I mean,
So-
they're provided freaking, like, iPads or Chromebooks or some crap now.
Yeah. We have those
For
old
their
Apple
work,
computers
instead
that
of
have, like,
lugging
a clear-
around the 30, 40-pound backpacks full of textbooks that you're assigned at the beginning of the year, and they threaten you with, like, this overpriced value if you lose or damage the book. Like, you guys remember that? Like, getting
Yeah,
those little
100%.
condition cards and crap?
Yeah.
Like,
Do you know how many library
had to
books I
keep
had at
that
the end of every
pristine.
year that like I didn't turn in? My parents would be yelling at me. I thought you took that one back.
It's like now
I
there's
did that with
ebooks.
Blockbuster too.
They're like,
Hollywood.
oh, I just scanned the QR code in the library and it just loads onto my. Like, wait, what?
I know, dude. The Scholastic Book Fair is like
We
a
were just-
tech show now.
I was just talking about that, not about the new ones. I don't know what they look like, but the old ones I saw, or we were talking about, like I have the Ken Griffey Jr. Moonshot poster.
Yeah.
We were talking like, all the old car posters and shit. We'd go there and feel so cool.
Dude, that dude was the goat, man.
Oh yeah.
Man, I love to go to the Scholastic Book Fair and get the spy kits, the edible paper, the little listening devices, and that was
Remember the invisible ink?
yes. Okay, so well, we've got a little diverged
Okay,
here.
that was a fun
Yeah, we did,
reminiscent.
So well, I'm glad everybody for sure. Seriously,
All right,
go
you know
listen to
our
his
age
band,
now.
Follow him. Check his music out. Check their music out. Follow everybody else in the band. Kiffin sniff butts. I'm just saying. So let's get down to the nitty gritty. How does being in a band and actually, because I mean, music is something that speaks to most people's souls, to their mental health, to their well-being. But how does actually being involved and a part of the music, how does that actually like change or affect your mental health rather than just being somebody who listens to it on the radio or in your headphones while you're doing something?
I think everybody has certain ways to like as outlets for them to express themselves or just to let out whatever's inside, whether it's happiness, sadness, anger, jealousy, whatever it is. Everybody has their own ways of kind of dealing with that. And something that's been good for me throughout the years is instead of like drinking or something like that, which really isn't helping at all, being able to write down my thoughts. And a lot of those turn into lyrics for songs for me. I like to I'm constantly like, I have a notepad in my phone and I'm just constantly writing different lyrics. And then when I feel something, like when the guys write something, I like to sit on it and listen and then decide what emotion it makes me feel. And then I can go through and start like cherry picking some of those lyrics to build songs off of, or some full songs just sometimes come. But I've gone through a lot in my life. I made my own life a lot harder by choices that I've made. So I feel like something with my lyrics is that I try to speak to other people to know, one, they're not alone, and two, hopefully learn from me and don't go down the path that I went down. And to me, like I try to write a really positive message for people, which keeps me positive in doing so. But yeah, music's just, especially the lyrical side where I'm at, just being able to write down my thoughts and express them, and especially the type of music I do, I literally get to scream it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I do notice a huge difference when I took a long hiatus from music, worked on my mental health in other ways, but
He is, now he's doing some electrical, he's like a smart electrician, but this man can cook. I mean, he's like a professional chef, not like, I cook in the kitchen for the family on holidays. Like, this is a like, oh God, what is that?
I was in TV and magazines.
What's that thing that you used to do where you're like, oh, I'm gonna go try out for this new restaurant and then see if they
Stage.
a stage.
Yeah.
He's somebody who does stages, okay? Like, but I had to get reminded what it was, but I didn't know what it was.
Yeah, you
But
did.
a lot of
There you
people
go.
don't know what a stage is, and I obviously learned that from him. But that's because he's an actual chef. So for he's multi-talented. He's got a lot of skill sets, and but this is what is good for his soul and his heart. So that's why I was like, this is perfect for music and mental health.
I mean, art in general, I guess I would say, because cooking's an art. Even some of the things I like to do in electrical are art, like bending and running pipe. Like when you see, like you go into a building and you see the nice like pipe racks, like ran all your pipes and they branch off like this, and all the curves follow each other and stuff like that. It's an art form. So anything artistic, I just like. I have an artistic soul.
Yeah.
And that's the way that I like to express myself. Is
Do you find a way to like leave your signature somewhere?
we write on walls and stuff like all the time, if that's what you
dope.
mean.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we're always writing like something stupid like somewhere on a wall, and you know it's gonna get buried, so eventually sometimes somebody's gonna see it. Or like we'll do something, and the funniest ones are like when I'll come across it. I've done it a couple times, but I try to make sure my work is always like top notch for the next person, because getting electrocuted sucks. But you'll
It does.
you'll
It
come
absolutely
you'll
does.
come across a box in the ceiling, and there's just shit everywhere, and you'll see that somebody wrote on like the cover plate of the box, "I'm sorry, I ran out of wire nuts," or like whatever it was. Like, at least they tell you, right? But yeah, you see that sometimes. But yeah, people are always like doing little stuff like that. Like, I don't know if you guys know, somebody buried a Chiefs flag at the Raiders stadium, like midfield, supposedly.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Why would they do that?
because they were a Chiefs fan and they wanted to curse the Raiders, which I don't think you need to, because they already suck.
They have a lot of their own problems to deal
Well,
with.
Tom Brady bought into him, so he just gave him the bad juju, you know?
What do you mean? No, they sucked long before Brady ever bought into them.
I'm just talking shit.
There was a
'cause we
weird
got a
conflict
Bostonian
issue
over
with
here,
that for
so.
a bit, but yeah, it only really just recently went through that Brady became an owner. Like, I want to say in the last 2 years.
Man, I saw that they were looking at Barry Sanders as a. Or, I think it was Barry, or was it Deion Sanders?
As a
Can't
coach, they were
Probably
looking
Yeah, as a
at
coach.
Deion Sanders. I don't
Deion-
think that's gonna happen.
Yeah, probably not. All I saw was a Sanders
Actually-
potential coach. I was like, oh, what?
I think they might have actually already signed somebody.
Hey, I mean,
I don't know.
if it helps them, it helps.
What team?
Even though I live here,
Raiders.
I'm a Vikings fan
Raiders?
all day,
Yeah, I
every
think
day.
they already
I
just,
believe they did.
they
yeah.
just got a coach, and it might have been their offensive coordinator or something like that.
Well,
that they
we
moved
might
up.
be able to have a good season if some of our players stop getting DUIs.
Yeah, you know, that would help. That would help.
Raiders.
Young money in Vegas is dangerous.
Wait until they meet a young Vegas person. I hate that.
Yeah.
I hate that every single time. Like that one that was flying in his McLaren or Ferrari or
Henry
whatever it
Ruggs.
was, and he hit that woman in her car and caught her and her dog on fire.
Yeah.
I personally was I almost
snapped and went on I'm finding this person spree, because that's just ridiculous. I mean, anytime
animals are involved, I can't handle it. It's not.
Yeah,
I mean,
and go John Wick on them.
yeah, they're the purest form of life there is.
Mm-hmm.
So
It's
for
like
somebody
how,
to
yeah, no. Nope, that,
Yeah,
that
I
would
mean,
be a bad
like you
board
said, you have
decision.
3 dogs. You know, I have 1, but when I come home from work, she is so excited to see me every day. She's like my little baby girl. So every time I see her, she's my baby girl. That's what I call her. And just yeah, the joy, how pure they are. They can sense your feelings too a lot of times. Like,
Yeah.
if you're sad, you notice they'll like kind of like come and like just be calm next to you, or you know, they're not like.
and that's why they need to be protected at all costs.
I love it.
If somebody hurts an animal,
Pure unconditional love, man. Like,
I-
it's just nothing else like
that's
it.
why I
really.
think I truly do believe that's why John Wick did so well. I mean, obviously, you know, it's Keanu Reeves and there's a bunch of action.
but every single person on the planet was like, finally somebody who had their dog or their
Pet
hurt
hurt,
or
killed, and they went on a fucking ballistic
Just
murder spree.
rampage.
Every
bro.
single person who's ever had
Rampage.
something happen to their animal, that's exactly what they think.
Yeah.
They're like, I'm gonna fucking kill everyone.
But it's also connected to like his wife that died of cancer. Like that was her final gift. to him.
Well, yeah, that was her final gift to him, of course, but
But
No,
like
but-
that made his attachment to the dog that much more extreme.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
He immediately loved that dog like she produced a child. like just straight up.
And for someone like me, like we've talked about
So
this here on
yeah,
the show.
no, I hands down probably would have done the same thing with that kind of training.
Yeah, animals are like the one thing in this world, this realm, whatever you want to call it, that I truly have unadulterated positive feelings for, because I love all of you guys, but human beings as a whole, I do not have the most positive of feelings for. Animals,
Understandably.
without fail, every single animal on the planet, I know they're not attacking you or killing you or any of that stuff because I want his house. You got some nice genes. That's not my area. None of that.
Right.
There's no greed. There's no coveting. There's no anger or hatred. It's protect my life, sustain my life, and protect my.
I mean, my dad had a parrot that was kind of an asshole, but
I guarantee you, that parrot had a super special bond with him, did it not?
oh yeah, yeah.
And so that's why it was an asshole. It's because it's that one person. Parrots are like monogamous, so even if they don't have like a mate, they're gonna find a life partner. So once they cling onto that one person,
Yeah.
so you know what I mean, like
Yeah.
like that. Even that. I mean, he's an asshole, yeah, but he it's not like he's ill intent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And animals aren't capable of that. Well, okay, that's a lie. There's one animal. Fucking killer whales are absolutely smart enough and capable enough.
Oh, they're menaces.
But, I mean, I don't know if it's being devil's advocate or not, but I 100% get it. We're destroying the oceans. We're destroying their environment. Attack our boats. Kill our people. Get us out of your waters.
Well, and that's exactly what I was gonna say. Like, people come into our house and,
Yeah.
exactly, and we're going into their house. But they've started like tipping over like small boats and stuff. Have you seen
Exactly.
that? Like they're like coordinated. Like they're just going up and like tipping people over and.
Yeah, pods, dude. Like one whale will teach it to a pod, and then that one whale from that pod will teach it to another pod, and they've started fucking they'll knock out the motor, so
It's dead in the water, and they'll keep hitting it until they can flip it.
I wish we could figure out their language.
Oh
That'd be
my
cool.
God! So I'm so glad you said that. I don't know if anybody else pays attention to this kind of stuff. So currently, they have audio detectors throughout the oceans all over the planet, etc. Just get different data, whatever. They've actually started trying to compile that data with actual like responses and things that they can measure with whales, compiling it into AI to try and communicate. That's something they're actively doing right now. They just did a they were able to identify a specific call as a hey everyone I'm here, kind of like a hey I'm here, whatever. And they played it, and within a couple minutes they had a whale respond. It was sperm whales. They had a whale respond, and they're like, oh shit, it worked. And they did it for like 20 or 30 minutes repeating that. But whenever they'd be like, all right, let's play it twice, and they'd wait 5 seconds, and they'd play it again, the whale that was responding would match those intervals. So if they changed it to 15 seconds, or if they made that 2 second call 5 seconds long, the whale would respond longer. And so we are legitimately on the cusp of being able to communicate with whales and other animals.
That's wild.
crazy.
I'm so excited for it.
What?
I feel like once other people actually, 'cause most people are like, oh, they're just a stupid animal. Once people can actually understand their capabilities of thought and emotion, how are you going to be able to be like, yeah, kill them. Let's get some whale oil going. I need blubber.
They say like extraterrestrials might actually be like living under the sea and not necessarily from other planets. What if it's like fucking dolphins in there, bro?
That would be awesome. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be like, I'm on your guys' side. Take me. I'll betray the humans. I don't care. Let's go. I would love that.
Oh,
I just learned that there used to be a prehistoric dolphin that had tusks. How cute would a dolphin with tusks be?
Really? I've never heard of that before. I'll have to look that one up.
Dude,
really.
yes. I mean, they only have drawings because the bones obviously can't show you much, but it looks so dope. It's like a narwhal, obviously, but like, tusks. So cute. I would love that.
Huh.
Or the giant ground sloths that used to walk around North
Mhm.
America. Man,
Sloths
I
are
love
cool,
sloths.
man.
Oh,
They're cool.
explore.org.
Wild
In case
animals.
anybody ever wants to check that out, it is an organization. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. They have over 100 live cameras for different zoos, different wildlife sanctuaries, out in the open ocean. They have a bunch of different cams that you can go and watch live animals 24/7. They'll have some days where like, oh, hey, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. this night, we're going to have a specialist. And they'll have a specialist that actually joins the chat on the live cams to answer questions and do stuff like that so you can make donations and help for animal conservation. So in case anybody wants to help out with that, explore.org.
Explore.org.
So obviously, Africa's super far ahead of us. It's like 12, 16 hours, something like that ahead of us. Whenever it's daytime here, you can hop on those cameras and watch elephants and lions
Like roaming around at night.
at night go into watering
That'd be cool.
holes. It's so awesome.
I would love to go to Africa sometime. I think
Right?
that'd be really cool.
See, for me, like how you have music, that's what animals do for me. Like, animals are the one thing that just that help me feel released from the planet that we're on, that I don't feel there's any negatives. There's nothing bad. There's just, yeah. I mean, human beings, like I said, I love you guys, but we all have faults.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I don't see faults in animals because everything they do makes sense. And it's just, I don't know. I love them so much. So I do get where you're coming from, but I don't, obviously, because they're different things, but I do get, having something that is so impactful to your spirit, your mind,
yeah.
your mental health.
Mhm.
And it's cool to be able to feel and talk about that from a different different something else. Like I mean, even people that are in the military, even if it's like they like to be the badass, killing a bunch of people, whatever. For them, that is their zone, their happy place where they feel most comfortable. And I don't get that, because you're taking lives, but you're taking lives for safety. So I mean, I get it, but I don't get how that could be your happy place.
I don't know that
But I
it
don't hate it.
necessarily is, because that's why PTSD is so bad here, is because these guys get trained to be something that we're not supposed to be killers like that. And so, I mean, there's people that seem like, oh, they're badass and they love it. I don't really think that they actually deep down love it. And a lot of those people, finding something is an important part of recovery and healing yourself from something like that, is finding something that you're passionate about and doing it. Anybody I see going through that's like depression or something like that, I tell them, make a list of things that you've wanted to do and either use the excuse, I don't have time, or for some reason I just can't do this,
money,
whatever it is.
yeah.
Figure out what you want to do and do that, because that, like, we're designed, like, just as humans, the way we think, we need to see progress in our lives. We need to feel like we're accomplishing something, that we're here on a mission and we're trying to take those steps forward. When you sit around and you come home and you just sit down and watch TV and you're not using your brain, just
Searching
just
for that 'cause you want to feel
get up, go to work, to a job that you hate, come home, just sit around and watch TV. You're miserable. You're watching other people's lives on TikTok and Facebook, and you think they're having these amazing lives. And usually we all know that what people post isn't necessarily what their lives are actually like. So we're getting this false sense of what other people are doing. So if you take yourself away from that, and that again, with music, with me, that's something that it pulls me out of like those realms. And then now I'm actively accomplishing things, and I get to watch myself accomplish certain tasks and move forward, whether it's even just like finishing one song and maybe I was struggling on it or whatever, like whether or not, but just as you like you finish that song, you're like, all right, I'm done. And you're listening to it back and you're like, dang, that came out good. That's cool. You know, you get that sense of accomplishment, and those things help with depression and anxiety and being worried about day-to-day tasks that, you know, just it gives you an opportunity to step away from real life
Yeah.
and focus on things. So that's my like one tip of advice to people is think about things that you've wanted to do and just start doing them. Don't make the excuses. Just start doing it. Figure out what it is that you really want to accomplish and just start accomplishing those things. You don't have to do it overnight. You know, a lot of things that I like to do. You'll actually have to come by my new house sometime, or my house sometime. I have a pirate bar I built in the backyard. Why? Because I wanted to. You know, and it took probably about 10, 12 months to build. And I just did everything. It's like a 10 by 10 little shed and just all pirate themed on the inside. And it's badass, but just because I wanted to, and then doing it, I get to watch myself accomplish things. And you know how good it feels, like looking around being like, damn, I built this. This is awesome.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
And do you get like the same feeling or different feelings between actually when you're recording or trying out a song versus when you're writing it? Like, do you get like different kinds of expression or releases from when you're writing it versus when you're, you know, actually performing it or recording it? Or is the overall end goal where you get your ultimate release always going to be to have that final product?
I feel like each step brings its own challenges and rewards. So okay, we finished this demo, cool. You know, I get my parts done, and then I give it to our one of our guitarists, Rob, and he'll go through and do like a demo mix on it. They usually sound pretty decent. They sound as good, if not better, than some stuff that bands try and release and call that a finished product, and those are our demos. But we get to, you know, we get that step, and then we get to hear, like, he does the mix, and we get to hear that, and we're like, oh, okay, dude, this is dope. And we start jamming that and listening to that, and then we go to the studio where I don't care how many times I get in front of a microphone in a room like that, I get nervous. I can go on stage, no problem. I can walk on stage and talk to 500 people and not even bat an eye. But for some reason, when it's me and that microphone in a room and I know it's being recorded, it's like, all right, I gotta do this.
Well, it's like you're performing under a microscope at that point. Like,
It
you're
kind of
literally
is.
under a pane of glass.
And usually the
You know,
people
like,
you're doing it
it's-
around are people that know the music industry very well and know music very well. And you're like, all right, like this isn't just like, fans might be a little more forgiving. This guy knows exactly what, you know, and he'll call out like the tiniest, oh, your voice cracked a little bit right there. Redo the whole take, you know, like, ah, dang.
Yeah.
But yeah, so each step has its own little rewards to doing it. You know, just like,
It's like building blocks, all coalescing to one overall environment or positivity for mental health.
yeah.
Because that I like that, because not everybody's gonna be able to go, hey, this is what I like to do. This is what makes me happy. I'm gonna try and do this, and they may feel like the overall goal is to get, I have to get the song out or I have to get it recorded, but they may forget about that release, that the release from them writing it in general, to be able to help them get to that further stage. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like how
I
it
feel
always
like
works.
it's definitely possible to miss the point altogether. If you're always like, I need to do this to feel this way, and you're telling yourself that, then you're not like living in the moment and enjoying what you're actually doing if you're creating. And it's easy for people then to, stress themselves out like, oh, I'm not doing enough. I should be doing more. I mean, we all naturally feel like that way, like, oh, I can do more, but you need to just remember why you started doing it in the first place, and just take it slow. It's like a giant ball. Like, start writing, get demos, get the final recording, push the album, release, music video, like all this stuff, play shows,
Social
and
media.
then once you're done with those songs and everything, you end up back on the bottom. Now you're starting again. So you're constantly just, it's like a cycle through. And if like, we don't really stop writing, and I guess that's kind of why it is this way for us. I guess if we took breaks, it would be different, and you get to a point where you hit the end of your goal, but we're always starting back over again. So it just, like, it's constantly going, and there's always something to, like, look forward to or enjoy doing.
That's the part I feel like people forget a lot right there, is that it slowly seeps over into the obligation, job, task kind of category. And once things start going into that kind of realm, you lose all positive benefits, all satisfaction, all I feel like I made something complete. I feel like I'm getting my expression, whatever it may be. You lose all of that, because now that it's transitioned to that obligation or job, it's not the same thing. It's the same thing, but it's not. It's still music, but it's not music to make you happy or to express yourself. It's music to make a quota, music to make your fans happy. I've definitely talked to a few people before that have made songs where they're like, yeah, I wasn't really feeling it, but that's kind of what people are feeling now. Like, back in the day, like when things were starting to get real, like, synthy, you know what I mean? Like, I had like Diamonds and Asking Alexandria, and everybody's starting to like get real synthy in there. A few bands were starting to add some synth, and they're like, I'm not really for this, but this is what people want. And you're like, who cares? Screw those people. You know what I mean? Like,
and I mean, you do have to kind of pay attention to what people want to hear and what people want to listen to in certain aspects. Do what you like to do what your heart wants to do. But there are certain things where you do have to kind of pay attention to those things, and that's just part of doing music, and you want people to listen to you. And if this is what people are listening to right now, how can I incorporate that in a way that's still true to me?
Yeah.
But I no, and you're definitely right that if you take things and you're just doing them for the sake of doing them, and you're not actually like enjoying doing it, yeah, you're gonna lose that passion. You're gonna burn yourself out. I see that. Like, I've had a friend, he was a great photographer. We actually have some photos hanging up in our house that he took of my wife and I and our son, and great photos. And he burned himself out because he wanted to do it as a job when he enjoyed doing it just for fun. And when it turned into work, then he lost the passion for it altogether, and now doesn't even do photography.
Yeah.
And he had a talent for it. Like,
that's why I always gave you credit for being a chef, man. Because I love cooking. It's fun and I enjoy cooking. But if I was like
cooking
in
for
a
other people,
restaurant,
and honestly,
rough,
that's
dude.
what happened to me.
It's so hard to cook for other
I mean,
people.
you knew me back when I was working those crazy hours. Like, I was working like 16-hour days, 6 days a week.
It's
it was nuts.
Dude.
And I was salary, so it's not like I was making any extra money for working more hours.
Oh my Christ! If anything, that's justification for them to keep you.
But it wasn't even. It wasn't asked of me.
That's what that is.
It wasn't even like asked, like, "Hey, will you do this?" It was, "You're working. Like, this is how long we need you to work.
This is
this is what
your
it is."
territory.
And I always enjoyed cooking when I got to cook. Then I got to a level where I was holding a clipboard and telling other people what to cook and telling them if they were doing it right or wrong, and taking inventory and things like that. So it got to a point where I wasn't necessarily actually doing what I enjoyed anymore, and I lost.
It's more
the
like
passion
menu
for it.
building and things of that nature.
Exactly, yeah. And so now that I'm not doing it professionally, I love to cook again.
And that's,
Yeah,
I feel like that's good.
I feel you on
because,
that one.
I mean, obviously we're here talking about music, but you still have other things that you have other things that can and do make you happy. You're not closed off like, oh, this is my thing. I'm a musician. Here I am. You know what I mean? And a lot of people will close themselves off or narrow themselves to a specific group, niche, whatever, without even thinking or trying to be or having the possibility to do anything else that, oh, wait, okay, so this thing I used to love makes me miserable now because I have to do it as a job. this is just I'm just stuck in this rut forever. Okay, so that's what you used to be passionate about before. You're not passionate about before now because something's ruined it for you. You can find something else. It's not like you're stuck or that one thing is ruined. And a lot of people do forget that. You know what I mean? Like they pigeonhole themselves to a specific thing that makes them happy, and if that specific thing doesn't work out the way they want to or how it can, that, then they're like, oh, well, the one thing that makes me happy, I got turned down for, time to be miserable for the rest of my life.
Yeah. I know that some people aren't as adventurous as I am. I like trying new things all the time. And then certain things I'll be like, I like doing that. And so now I want to do that more. So I end up, I'm so ADHD. I have a million hobbies that I like to do,
I was gonna say, man, like I'm ADHD. Like I have like certain passions that will like always be there.
Yeah.
Like sports. Like I will always love sports no matter what, right? But at the same time, that's not the only thing I'm passionate about. Like if sports just went away, I wouldn't die of lonely. I mean, that would be horrifying.
There's totally a lot of people in this world that doing their fantasy draft and picking their bets.
Hey, I am in
that's their
all of
life.
that when football season's here. But like,
I
But
do-
It's not your life though. when
No,
it's
that's not my
your
whole
identity.
life.
I
But
do
it's my
too.
whole. It is my whole life for a portion of every year. Like that is.
I
that
do
is
2
the
fantasy
reality.
leagues, and that's a lot.
But,
I
like,
feel like people
not too
that
much.
do more than that is insane. And I'm actually I wanted to step back this year. I'm like, this is a little much. But
I don't watch enough sports to know.
I mean, in the
people's
last 2
names.
years, like I've
had to dramatically change my life. So yes, sports is like one of my main passions, right? But in the last 2 years, I've also gotten into bodybuilding. I now do
amateur bodybuilding. I
That's
also recently started snowboarding.
I agree.
I actually did that last winter when we were working at Lee Canyon, and dude, it's fun as hell. Like,
Snowboarding's awesome.
It's awesome. Like
Last
and-
winter, you did it in this month.
yeah, I did. I did this month too, but I started last.
Oh, you said okay. Gotcha.
Yeah.
yeah, snowboarding is awesome, man.
So
Yeah.
like always trying new things, and like I also got really passionate about bowling for a while. Like I was in like 3 different leagues at one point.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so
I want to get
just-
into a bowling league.
Dude, it's fun. Like it's
He
a
knows
lot of
the
fun.
people.
We used to do the South Point dollar bowling all the time.
Hell yeah, dude! Get those
dude.
little cheapy drinks in the fucking thing.
Yeah,
and,
the little
oh,
tiny
man.
cups. Yeah.
Oh, that was
so
funny
much
as
fun.
hell.
Then you go get the cab driver special at the cafe down
Yes.
there.
Oh my god.
$3.99
Cafe-
steak and eggs, baby.
California
Yes.
Cafe. Man.
Dude, that place is
Cafe
so
Coronado,
packed
right?
now.
Well, yeah, because they
It's
have
so
a-
packed,
they have a-
24/7.
They have a great steak and eggs. They have great biscuits and gravy, and you can get biscuits and gravy, steak and
I
eggs,
know,
and a
but-
drink for $12.
But for locals, that used to be like a go-to
That was
spot
that
in the
was
middle of
the
the night,
spot, yeah.
where
That
it
was
was
the
like
spot.
kind of dead.
Mm-hmm. I haven't been
But
there
now
in a
it's
while.
like, like you wait like 20 minutes, 30 minutes to get a table
Dude, there's
at like
lines
3, 4 in the morning. I'm
Yeah.
like, what the hell,
crazy,
bro?
We go. Have you been to Sunset Station recently?
I
They just
can't even-
remodeled
Not in a
Sunset
while.
Station.
I can't even
they're in the process.
enjoy drunken escapades anymore. It's,
Right? See, I go to Sunset all the time now because I live in Boulder City, so Sunset Station's a lot closer. I haven't been to South Point forever, but
I know, and they
South
closed
Point
the
used to
Fiesta.
be the spot.
Sunset is like, it's weird because it's like basically the same, but not.
I still miss
it's
East Rings.
weird.
I mean, they're slowly remodeling all of it. Like the
Yeah.
new sports book's dope. I don't know if you've been in there and seen it. It's huge.
Yeah, I saw it. The screens are dope.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, it's
like,
pretty cool.
dude, I love the
Can't believe they're
wraparound.
updating such an old casino.
Well, it's a local favorite. Like their hotel rooms are actually super nice. I don't know
Let's
if you've
check it out.
stayed
Yeah,
in
I've
them.
stayed there like once
Yeah.
or twice before.
Super nice.
Well, I think you've pretty much answered all my questions. Is there anything else you want to elaborate on the band? Any shows you got coming up? Any releases? Anything that you want people to look out for?
Right now, we don't have any shows. We just released the Low Life EP, like I was saying earlier in the beginning. So go and give that a listen, especially like if you like metalcore. I mean, we're right in that pocket. We get a little deathcore influences. Some of our stuff. We're poppy choruses, heavy verses. pretty much our style. But yeah, we're on all streaming platforms, whether you if you use Apple Music, Spotify, Pandora, any of those, we're on there. Ariah Falls, it's ARIAH Falls, FALLS. You can go to ariahfalls.com and you can pick up some merch there. Hats, sweatshirts, hoodies, t-shirts, beer koozies, stickers. So you can check us out there, and you can find any link to any of the stuff that we do on there. We're gearing up to hopefully start getting around the country and playing shows this year. We had a drummer just send us an audition tape today. We're looking for a drummer, so if anybody
Hey, all right.
knows a drummer right now, we're looking. I mean, we may have found one, but
To be determined.
TBD for
Yeah,
sure.
baby.
But yeah, we're always doing something. You can always find us out doing what we do. I just want to thank you guys, and I know you guys are getting started out here, so
Yeah,
Thanks for coming on the podcast. Like you said, we're
Appreciate
starting
it,
out. We don't
honestly,
really have
yeah.
followers or nothing like that. So
well, I wish you guys all the best, and
likewise, man.
anything I can do to
Absolutely,
help.
dude.
And we definitely appreciate you coming out here and talking. I mean, obviously, band is always good promotion, but talking about, how that affects you as a human being, at your mental health, your emotions, your thoughts.
Yeah.
Like, most people don't really talk about that, and that's kind of why we started this niche, especially dudes. I mean, none of our dude friends really talk about this shit.
And it's
unless
true, yeah. We're not.
broken
We're
prods.
expected not to, And
Yeah,
We're supposed to be like the big, tough, strong providers for our family, but
silent type.
but
It's like we're supposed to be loving at home, but also cold at the same time,
yeah,
and emotionless,
yeah.
and also a punching bag,
It's weird being a dude. People don't.
and also a
Women
wallet.
don't understand
legs.
quite what we do and what we go through and how much we actually put up with and go through to make sure that their lives are easy.
Yeah, like just the old school things of covering a puddle. Here's my jacket. Opening a door. I try to open the door for everybody I can. Just as common courtesy.
Do you ever get like scoffed at anymore? Like some girls will be like,
Yeah. They
No,
they think
actually,
you're
I'm
just
just
doing
being
it to
nice.
get in their pants.
I'm just being
automatically.
nice. Like
Shit, I was actually just thanked today over that. I was
most,
like,
and
oh,
most
no
people
problem.
will.
Like,
Most people will. But there's
definitely some that they
I don't think anyone's ever scoffed at me.
really.
Yeah.
Yeah, they'll
You must
they'll
be-
just assume
you're
you're
just a
doing it
handsome
because you're gonna
devil.
Hit on them in a
I don't
second.
know.
You'd be like, "Oh, I opened the door for you. Hey, pretty mama." No, they always assume. Well, not always, but for the most part, I'm pretty sure that they're assuming you're just doing it because they're female or because they're attractive, and they think
Honestly,
that you.
I mean, I do it for everybody. Guy, girl,
yeah,
doesn't matter.
same.
Same thing.
Sometimes,
so.
do you ever catch yourself holding the door too long? Like you're going
Yes,
through, and you turn
no.
around. There's some guy walking in from the gas
And
pump
you're like,
still,
oh, you're right there. I gotta hold this, and,
and
you're
you're
like,
holding,
Wait,
and then he's
no,
taking
damn it,
forever.
What am I doing?
Then he starts awkwardly jogging, and you're like,
I was just trying to do like a pay it forward thing, man. Come on.
You don't gotta run. Come. Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just trying to do a pay it forward thing, and then just like close this door. Like I'm out.
Yep.
Like, oh, you're literally 2 feet in front of me. I'll hold this door. That dude's 20. Really?
And you don't want to be the asshole who's like, oh wait, there's a person in a wheelchair that's gonna take a minute and a half to get here. Hi.
No, honestly, that doesn't even bother me, bro. I'll just, at that point, I'll just like push the door and then just lean my back against it and just be like, come on.
Just sit.
I was an EMT, bro. Like, I had a passion for that for a while. So when I see people with like disabilities and shit like
Oh
that,
yeah.
I
If you see somebody that could or should need help, help them.
that's,
Oh, for sure.
yeah.
For sure. That's a good thing. I can imagine that job was hard.
Yeah, rough, man.
Especially 'cause
I
he was
worked on the
EMT for
strip, so
casinos. Yeah.
yeah, it was rough.
He was EMT/security, so it was super bad. On the strip.
Yeah, I had to arrest people too, so that was wild. Like,
I'm sure that was crazy.
yeah.
Well,
Went through some rough times there, but
we appreciate everybody coming out. Chad, I appreciate you. I love you, man. It's good to see you. It's been a while since I've seen him, so this was
Yes,
this was fun just to get
it's
together.
a nice pleasure.
Yeah. So, well, I was Jason,
And I'm Will.
and that was Chad, and we were
The Shed Show.
Thank you guys for coming out. We'll see you next Friday around the same time. We'll try and start maybe streaming here, because as you see, this is way better equipment, way better people, everything's way better. So, catch you guys next Friday.
Like, share, subscribe.
Like, share, subscribe. Fuck that like button up.